a new session at Graduate Guru. This session we are starting a new topic, that is redemption of debentures. Now before we go to what is redemption of debentures, let me give you a background about first what are debentures. Debentures is nothing but a loan or a borrowing of the company. जैसे हम बैंक से लोन लेते हैं, वैसे ही कंपनी कैन टेक अ लोन फ्रॉम द पब्लिक. सो यहाँ पर one person is not giving the loan. The loan is divided among many people. So जैसे अगर हम बैंक को अप्रोच करेंगे, बैंक हमें पूरा लोन दे देगा. So the transaction is between the bank and us. If we are a company, then company directly takes the loan from the bank. It has to repay the loan back to the bank. So there are only two parties. But when the company issues debentures, it is taking a loan. But it is not taking a loan from one person. It is taking a loan from multiple people. बहुत सारे लोगों से एक amount collect करके हम loan create कर रहे हैं. That is what is debentures. So basically something like shares. We know what are shares. Share is the capital of the company. But again, shares are bought by many people. So the capital is divided among many people. वैसे ही यहाँ पर debentures में loan is divided among many people. So जैसे company shares issue करती है, वैसे ही company debentures issue करती है, and on those debentures it has to pay interest from time to time, and after a certain period of time it has to redeem those debentures. Now what is redeem? Redeem is to repay the debentures. Okay. So basically redemption of debentures is nothing but repaying or maturing the debentures. So पैसे वापस देना is called redemption. Okay. So here we are trying to understand that what are the different ways in which the company can redeem its debentures. So we'll be going to the accounting part a little later, but first we'll try to understand what are the different ways in which the redemption can take place. So now we'll be studying the different ways, and there are different categories of redemption. So as I will discuss each category, the matter will come on your screen. So pay attention to what I'm saying as well as pay attention to the points that are flashing on your screen. So the first is based on period of redemption. So redeem कब करना है या कौन से टाइम पीरियड में करना है, बेस्ड ऑन दैट द डिबेंचर रिडेम्पशन कुड बी एट द एंड ऑफ द टर्म. दैट इज से हमने 10 साल के डिबेंचर्स इश्यू किए हैं. व्हेन द 10 years एंड, द टोटल अमाउंट ऑफ डिबेंचर, से द डिबेंचर अमाउंट इज से 10 lakhs, पूरा 10 lakhs आफ्टर अ पीरियड ऑफ 10 years आई विल हैव टू रीपे बैक. सो दैट इज एट द एंड ऑफ द टर्म. इफ not at the end of the term, redemption can be by installments or annual lots. That is the word used. So annual lots means every year and annually, that is every year, a particular lot of debentures will be redeemed. So suppose in our case we have say debentures of 50 lakhs, then say after a period of 5 years, 5 साल तक no redemption. After 5 years maybe 10 lakhs के lot में और 5 साल में हम उसे redeem करेंगे. So say I have issued the debentures say on 1st April 2008 and I start redeeming them from say after 5 years. So 2013 से redemption शुरू होगा. So 50 lakhs के अगर debentures हैं तो first lot will be probably redeemed. 10 lakhs के debentures पहले redeem होंगे in the first year, that is 2013. Then 2014 another 10 lakhs, 2015 another 10 lakhs, and that is how over a period of 5 years I will completely redeem the debentures. Okay, so that is based on the period of redemption, either by at the end of the term or by annual lots, or also known as by installments. Okay, so that was the first category of redemption. The second category will be based on the redemption amount. How much amount you are paying at the time of redemption. So here there are 3 categories and they are very self-explanatory. The first is at par. What is at par? Par means face value. जितने के डिबेंचर्स हैं उतना ही अमाउंट हम रीपे कर रहे हैं. सो से 10 rupees डिबेंचर, आई एम रीपेइंग 10 rupees. Okay, so that is at par. If it is at premium, that is the second category under this. So at premium means more than the face value. So suppose a 10 rupees debenture, but at the time of repaying it, I am paying them 12 rupees per debenture. So 10 रुपए के बदले हम जो 12 rupees दे रहे हैं, 2 rupees extra becomes my premium. So that is redemption at premium. And there is a third type which is at discount, which is rarely done because obviously no debenture holder will agree to take a lesser amount. So at discount means suppose 10 रुपए के debenture है and I am repaying them only 9 rupees per debenture. Then it becomes a redemption at discount. Now at discount redemption generally हमारे sums में नहीं आएगा, but later on in the future years when you are going to do some more complicated things like internal reconstruction and all, उस साल में you will come to know that in certain situation जब company के पास funds कम होते हैं and they have to repay their liabilities, at that time they enter into an agreement with their debenture holders, and at that time probably the debenture holders will agree to receive a lesser amount because कुछ नहीं मिलने से अच्छा है that they get some amount out of their amount. So they agree to get their debentures redeemed at a discount. So under amount we have three categories, that is at par, at premium and at discount. Now coming to the next category, which is very important. Why? Because most of our sums will be based on one of these categories. So here it is important to decide that हम कौन सी category में redemption कर रहे हैं, and the first that is based on source of redemption. So हम कहाँ से redeem कर रहे हैं debentures को, that is where am I getting the funds for redemption. If you have gone through the preference share redemption, there also we have redemption split into two parts, out of profits and out of fresh issue. This is something like that, but it's a little different. So I've just given you an example over there, so you can refer to that. If you've understood that, then probably this will become easier to understand. So under based on source of redemption, we have again two types, and the first one is out of capital. Out of capital means जो कंपनी के पास funds हैं, suddenly the company decides to redeem the debentures. It has not made any provision for the redemption. So basically, no profits have been kept aside for redemption. Means, see, generally हम जब debentures issue करते हैं, we already know that इतने साल के बाद हमें debentures को redeem करना है. So generally, according to Companies Act, every company has to maintain a provision that if I have to redeem so many debentures, इतना amount हर साल साइड में निकाल के रखना है, that is transfer it to a separate account or a separate reserve. But when that is not done, in that case the redemption is said to be out of capital. Now under Companies Act, first of all, such a redemption is not allowed. So ऐसा redemption illegal होगा, but it may be allowed for banking companies and your financial institutions. So basically all India financial institutions are allowed to redeem debentures like this, and any banking company, if they have issued debentures, they can do the redemption out of capital. Okay, so that is the first type under source, and obviously the second type will be out of profits. So out of profits is when you are creating a special reserve or a fund specially to carry out the redemption. So जिस साल में debentures issue हुए, उसी साल से you start putting aside an amount, or maybe 2 or 3 years after that, you start putting aside an amount specially for redemption. That in future जब भी redemption करना है, हमें ये reserve से amount use करना है. So in that case, when I have created a special reserve or a special fund, that redemption becomes a redemption out of profits, because it's not a sudden redemption. I have already made a provision for that redemption over a period of years. So here again there are two categories. One is when you create a debenture redemption reserve, and the other category is when you create a sinking fund or a debenture redemption fund. So एक reserve है और एक fund है. Okay, basically for our purpose, for our theoretical academic purpose, both are almost the same. Okay, slight difference in the journal entries which we'll be seeing a little later, but basically the concept is same, that I create a reserve, keep aside an amount, और वो रिजर्व ऐसे ही सिर्फ प्रॉफिट से निकाल के नहीं रखना है. जितना हम रिजर्व क्रिएट करते हैं, जनरली वी ऑल्सो मेक एन इन्वेस्टमेंट अगेंस्ट दैट रिजर्व. सो लेट मी जस्ट गो थ्रू द पॉइंट्स फॉर फर्स्ट डिबेंचर रिडेम्पशन रिजर्व. So under that, first of all, it is a requirement under section 71 subsection 4 of the Companies Act. So in the Companies Act only it has been mentioned that जब हमें debentures redeem करने हैं, it is better to create a debenture redemption reserve. Now, what is the provision of this section? What does this section say? 25% of the face value of redeemable debentures to be transferred to the debenture redemption reserve. So, जितने भी debentures total हमारे balance sheet में जितने भी debentures दिख रहे हैं, which are redeemable, okay? In that case, 25% of that total debentures should be transferred to the debenture redemption reserve account. So, अगर debentures हमारे से 1 lakh है, उसका 25%, so 25,000 should appear as a reserve in your balance sheet in debenture redemption reserve. Then against that reserve, as I said, वो खाली reserve balance sheet में नहीं दिखाना है, you have to keep aside an amount. तो उस reserve का certain part you have to invest in securities. So that investment is like a provision that whenever I want to redeem the debentures, हम वो investment sell कर सकते हैं and उससे जो amount मिलेगा that can be used to redeem the debentures. So at least 15%. Reserve कितना था? 25%. But investment के लिए they have said at least 15% of the face value of debentures due for redemption during the year to be invested by 30th of April in specified investments. That is, what are the specified investments? They have mentioned deposits with scheduled banks, securities of central or state government. So generally certain securities are there which are issued by the government. So us securities mein, because they are safe securities, or you can keep it as a fixed deposit with a scheduled bank. That is important. Okay, we know that there are scheduled and non-scheduled banks. So you have to keep your investment in a scheduled bank. Now, what does this mean when I said at least 15% of the face value of debentures due for redemption? So, जिस साल में, suppose just now we are in the year say 2019-20. So, on 31st March 2019, the company knows that अगले साल कितना redemption due है. That is during 2019 April to 2020 March, कितने amount का redemption due है. उस अमाउंट से 15%, that is say अगर 1 lakh का हमारा redemption due है during 2019-20, then 15% of that, so 15,000 should be invested in any of these securities, that is either central state government securities or deposit with bank, and this should be done by 30th of April of that year. So as I am talking about 2019-20, 30th April 2019 तक ये investment हो जाना चाहिए of 15,000 or whatever 15% of your amount due for redemption. Okay, so this was the first type under the category redemption out of profits. Now the second type, as I said, is either creating a sinking fund or a redemption fund. Okay, so when I am not creating a reserve under the Companies Act, I can create a separate fund instead of creating a reserve. Now, fund generally, जब हम word use करते हैं, whenever we create a fund, reserve and fund are almost simultaneous to each other. That is, they are almost the same. But what is the thin line of difference? That fund जब भी हम create करेंगे, वो exact amount of fund हमेशा investment में भी दिखेगा. So, जितना मेरा fund है, say my fund is 50,000. तो उसके सामने एसेट साइड पे 50,000 का इन्वेस्टमेंट दिखना चाहिए. सो अ फंड इज ऑलवेज बैक्ड अप बाय एन investment. Okay, so when I am creating a DRR हम हर साल create करते हैं, that is debenture redemption reserve, जो अभी हमने discuss किया. DRR when I am creating, there is no compulsion to make an investment every year. जब redemption due होगा उस साल में 30th April तक मुझे investment करना है. So I have the option whether to invest or not to invest. और वहां पर भी पूरा amount invest करने का requirement नहीं है. It has to be 15% of the amount due for redemption. So there the investment requirement is different. But as I said, whenever we create a fund और उसका fund investment will always be equal to each other, almost equal. Rounding off difference हो सकता है here and there, but the fund and the investment generally are always balanced by each other. So let me just read out the provisions for the fund. Fund created for purchase of investment for debenture redemption. So as I said, fund is always backed up by an investment. So जब भी हम fund create करेंगे, that fund is created so that I can invest that amount in some investment. It may be cumulative or non-cumulative. Now there are two types of funds which we can create, either cumulative fund or non-cumulative fund. Now when I am talking about cumulative fund, see, whenever I invest an amount, I get an income. So generally यहाँ पे investment will be in deposit with bank or with central government securities, जहाँ पे हमें interest मिलेगा. So वो जो interest है, अगर मैं उसी fund में add करती हूँ, then it becomes a cumulative fund. But if the interest is taken as an income in the profit and loss account, then it becomes a non-cumulative. Cumulative means what? To collect. So जो हमें interest मिल रहा है, अगर वो भी हम fund में ही collect करते जा रहे हैं, then it is called a cumulative fund. Otherwise it is non-cumulative. So basically cumulative income is reinvested and added back to the fund, whereas in non-cumulative, interest is treated as income in the P&L account. And why is this fund created? For redemption. So जब भी हमें redeem करने हैं debentures, जितना भी amount हमें चाहिए for redemption, that will be available by selling the investment against this fund. So fund is created only for that purpose, that जब भी हमारा investment इकट्ठा हो जाता है, I can sell it, and from that amount that we get on selling the investment, we can do our redemption. Okay. Then under the source of redemption, there is one more type, which is open market purchase. Now what happens in open market purchase is, company अपने ही debentures share market से buy कर लेती है. We know what is a share market, a stock market. On the stock market, shares and debentures and other securities of various companies are being sold. So suppose there is a company ABC. उसके debentures are listed on the stock exchange. What do you mean by listed on the stock exchange? They are being sold and purchased on that stock exchange. So company ABC has issued the debentures. Okay, debentures are bought by, say, Mr. X. Now Mr. X wants to sell those debentures, but there is no other buyer on the market, or even if there is a buyer, company ABC feels that they should buy their own debentures. So in that case, ABC अपने ही debentures खुद खरीद लेगी. So what will happen? Company के balance sheet में debentures are shown as a liability because वो हमें payment करना है. So it's our liability. So liability में debentures दिख रहे हैं. Now when I buy the debentures, that means I am investing my own amount in that debentures. So this becomes an asset. So the same debenture is appearing as a liability also, and it is appearing as an asset also. Now the company has two options. Either it will keep those debentures in its balance sheet. So liability में भी दिखेगा, asset में भी दिखेगा. Interest obviously it will not pay to itself. उतना interest cancel हो जाएगा every time the interest becomes due. That we'll see some later chapter. But what I'm trying to say is that खुद के ही debentures है. So in future the company can cancel those debentures. So जब cancel करेगी तो liability से भी वो amount निकल जाएगा और asset से भी वो amount निकल जाएगा. The company may make a profit or it may make a loss in that particular transaction. So that how to record that profit and loss we'll see a little while later when we are doing the journal entries. So basically in this category, source of redemption, we have one is out of capital, another is out of profits, which we saw debenture redemption reserve or fund create karna hai, and the third is by open market purchase. What is that? The company is buying back its own debentures from the market, and then in the future it will cancel those debentures. Okay. And the last category is how you are making the payment. So mode of payment is the next category, and there we have two types. One is you either pay cash. When I'm saying cash means हम check issue करेंगे, so bank balance कम होगा हमारा. We'll have our entry will go to bank account because you are making a payment. So either you make a payment, that is cash or check, or you convert the debentures into some other security. So what is meaning of conversion? Suppose I am holding 8% debentures. That is, the company has issued 8% debentures. Now redemption is due. Instead of paying them cash, what will we do? We will tell them that आप हमें 8% debentures वापस दे दो. Instead, we will give you equity shares. So that is called conversion. So we can either give them equity shares, we can give them preference shares, or we can give them a new category of debentures. So 8% debentures लेकर हम उन्हें थोड़ा higher interest rate वाला debentures से 10% debentures हम उन्हें issue कर सकते हैं. So this is called conversion. So these are the different categories of redemption. Now under each category, entries may slightly be different. So now next we'll be going on to the journal entries under the different categories. Okay. Now let's begin with the journal entries. First category we are going to see is issue of debentures. This is already covered in another topic. Issue of debentures is a separate topic by itself. But just for revision sake, I am taking these entries because in some sums हमें ये entries करनी पड़ेगी. Okay, so first one is issued at par and redemption is also at par. Means जब हमने debentures issue किए थे, we had not taken any premium, and when we are redeeming those debentures, at that time also the redemption is going to be at face value only. Now how do we know this? Generally जब भी हम debentures issue करते हैं, in the agreement of the debentures, that is when you give them a debenture certificate, उसमें सारे terms mentioned होते हैं, and in those terms it is already specified, most of the times it is specified whether the redemption will be at face value or at premium. Obviously no company will write that the redemption will be at discount, so वो पहले से decided नहीं होता है. That, as I already told you, based on situation, if the company is facing some kind of financial problem, then maybe it will redeem the debentures at discount. Otherwise, nobody will agree to get their debenture value back at a discount. So that we'll tackle a little later. So here in the first category, जब हमने issue किए थे debentures, we already knew that redemption will also be at face value. So simple entry, when you issue debentures, you will get money. So bank account debit, and two, debentures always have a percentage. That is how you recognize the debentures. So 2 so and so percent debentures account. Okay, this becomes our liability and we get money against that liability. Okay, now coming to the second category, when we issued the debentures, we issued them at a premium. Means 10 rupaye ke debentures, we took 12 or 11 or whatever extra amount we have taken from the debenture holders at the time of issue. But when I will redeem them, I have told them that the redemption will be at par, that is at face value. So in that case again, I will get money. So bank account debit. Whenever we issue debentures or any securities, bank account is always debited. To so and so percent debentures account, and to securities premium account. Okay, because we are getting extra amount, it is our profit. लेकिन वो profit हम P&L में नहीं लेते हैं. Whenever we get extra amount on issuing any securities, we've seen that earlier also, we always take it to securities premium. So that's a reserve, special reserve. Now coming to the next category, when we issued the debentures, we issued them at a discount. Okay, so 10 रुपए के debenture हमने issue किए say 9 rupees. Okay, now we are issuing at a discount means we are making a loss because हमें कम amount मिल रहा है. जहाँ पे हमें 10 रुपए मिलना चाहिए था, we will be getting a lesser amount on the issue of those debentures. But when I will redeem them, जब हम उन्हें repay करेंगे amount, we will be paying them the full 10 rupees. So when I got the money from them, I got only 9 rupees, example. And when I will repay, I will give them full 10 rupees. So the discount is our loss. So how do we record? यहाँ पे profit था, profit got credited. But when it's a loss, we debit the losses. So obviously we'll receive the amount, bank account debit. The loss on discount will go to a special account called discount on issue of debentures. So discount on issue of debentures account debit, and the debentures will be credited with the full face value. Okay, so debentures में आ जाएगा face value and discount will come against discount, and this will be our balancing figure, the bank amount that we get from our debentures. Okay, so this is how you will pass the entry when the issue is at discount but the redemption is going to be at par. So यहाँ तक it was self-explanatory, okay, because here all the redemptions in the future are going to be at par. Now coming to the fourth category, where when I issued the debentures, they were issued at par, that is face value. 10 रुपए का debenture, I have taken 10 rupees only from them. But in the future, when I will redeem them, that redemption is going to be at a premium. Okay, now how you are going to record this? So obviously I am issuing the debentures, so bank account is definitely going to be affected. So bank account debit. Now I'll write the entry and then I'll explain to you. You also debit an account called loss on issue of debentures. So loss on issue of debentures account debit to so and so percent debentures account to premium payable on redemption account. Okay. Now this is very important to understand why we are doing this. I am getting money from the debenture holders. Okay. So 10 rupees debenture, I am going to get 10 rupees from them. So suppose it's only one debenture. For example, यहाँ पे बैंक में 10 rupees आ जाएगा. Debentures में भी 10 rupees ही आएगा because that is my liability payable in the future. Now why am I debiting this loss on issue of debentures? Because in future, when I pay the debentures at premium, means I will pay them extra. So 10 रुपए के बदले maybe I will give them 12 rupees per debenture. So 2 rupees extra which I am going to give them in the future, that in the future it is going to be my loss. So that loss I am recording today itself when I issue the debentures. So that 2 rupees loss, whatever I am going to pay them in the future, that 2 rupees will come over here in front of loss, and it will also come against premium payable on redemption. So in the future, I already know that it's my liability. Future में मुझे उन्हें 2 रुपए extra देने हैं. So that becomes my extra liability which I am accounting today itself when I am issuing the debentures. So what we have to remember, that when the debentures are issued at par, but in future I am going to pay them extra amount, that is premium, that premium I will book today itself. So premium and उसके सामने that premium in future will be my loss. So ये loss आ जाएगा. Now this amount which is a loss, it will appear in the balance sheet, and every year a part of it will be written off. So every year loss में से थोड़ा amount निकाल के we will take it to P&L. The remaining amount will appear in the balance sheet as an unwritten off amount. Okay. So that accounting we'll see later. No need to wreck your brains just now with that. What you have to remember, that this is the entry that you will pass. Now coming to the fifth category under issue, when I issued the debentures, they were at a discount. Plus when I am going to redeem them, they are going to be at a premium. Now in this category, I make a double loss. पहले तो से 10 रुपए के debentures हैं और जब मैंने issue किए मुझे सिर्फ 9 rupees मिले. So 1 rupee वहाँ पे loss हो गया. And in future when I will pay them, I am going to pay them 12 rupees. That is at a premium. So वो 2 rupees भी मेरा loss है. So in this case, there is a double loss which I have to book. So the entry is, I am getting amount, so bank account debit. The discount which I am giving them today, that will also be debited, it's a loss. So discount on issue of debentures account debit. And as I said, in the future when I pay them extra, that will also be a loss. So that loss also I am booking just now. So loss on issue of debentures account debit. To whatever percent debentures account and to premium payable on redemption account. So this is how you will pass an entry when your issue is at a discount. So that is one loss, and plus your future payment is going to be at a premium. That is going to be your other loss. So here you are going to get a net amount, whatever you receive on the issue. This is the discount that you have given them. That is say 1 rupee or 2 rupee, whatever is the discount per debenture. This is the premium payable in future. When we redeem them, debentures will always be credited with the face value, and again the premium will be credited with the premium. So these two amounts are going to be the same. Face value minus discount will tell you the net amount which we have got on issue of debentures. Okay. So this was about issue. So to give you a background that in case in a sum, if they ask you for the entry for issue also, you know how to pass that entry. Now coming to our main entries for redemption. Okay. So here I have taken 3 categories of redemption: at par, that is face value, at premium and at discount. Now when we are redeeming, means we have to make a payment to the debenture holders. So first we book the amount which we have to pay, and then we actually make the payment. So the payment entry will come a little later. Now what are we doing when we are redeeming the debentures? We are cancelling the debentures. अगर हमने debentures redeem कर दिए, repay कर दिए, means in future that liability goes out of my balance sheet. So I am cancelling those debentures. So in all situations, debentures account will be debited now. जब हम issue कर रहे थे debentures, we were crediting the debentures because it's our liability. We are creating a liability. Here we are cancelling the liability. So I am giving it a debit. So and so percent debentures account debit to debenture holders account because the payment is due to them. So here we are transferring it to a temporary account, debenture holders. जब हम उन्हें पेमेंट कर देंगे, ये अकाउंट भी कैंसिल हो जाएगा. So this is just a temporary account. So and so percent debentures account debit to debenture holders. Now if it is at a premium, okay, we have to give them extra amount. So again your debentures will definitely be debited. So and so percent debentures account debit. And what are we giving them? Premium. So premium payable on redemption account debit. And the total amount, whom do we have to pay it to? We have to pay it to our debenture holders. So to debenture holders account. Now this account we have already seen earlier. So यहाँ पे क्या होगा, जब हम issue करेंगे, अगर हमने premium payable already तभी create कर दिया है, when I will redeem, वो same amount यहाँ पर debit हो जाएगा and it will set off. So this amount will appear in your balance sheet till the time you actually redeem the debentures. When you finally redeem the debentures, this amount will be cancelled. Okay, so this is how you will account for when your redemption is at a premium. Now coming to when your redemption is at a discount. Discount means, as I told you, first of all, this is a very rare situation जहाँ पे redemption discount पे होता है. But in case there is a redemption at discount, how do you account for it? Debentures as usual will obviously always get debited. So and so % debentures account debit to debenture holders account. This is the amount payable to them after the discount. And the discount that we are giving them, even though the name used is discount, ये हमारा loss नहीं है, ये हमारा profit है. Why? Because I am paying them less than what I am supposed to pay. 10 रुपए के debentures पे I am paying them only 8 rupees. So 2 rupees I am saving. मुझे pay करना था 10, but I am paying them only 8. So it's like a discount received for us, which is a profit, and therefore we take it to profit on redemption of debentures account. And this is normal, your revenue profit, which you can use it as you are using your P&L, etc. You can transfer to a reserve also. So this is how you will account when your redemption is at a discount. Okay. Now coming to adjusting the premium on redemption. Fine. In case ये जो प्रीमियम है हमारा, जो रिडेम्पशन पे हमने पे करना है, if we have not accounted it over here, that is at the time of issue, अगर हमने ये प्रीमियम नहीं already provide किया था, we suddenly decided that we wanted to redeem the debentures at a premium. So पहले से ये हमने book नहीं किया था. In that situation, you will adjust your premium against your securities premium account or your reserves account. So securities premium account debit, in case हमारे balance sheet में ये reserve है तो, so securities premium account debit, or you can also take it from general reserve account. So general reserve account debit, so depending on what you are using, or you can also use your P&L account. So whichever reserve is available to you, you use that reserve to write off the premium payable. So to premium payable on redemption account. Okay. So basically you are using your profits to write off this loss, because as I explained, जो premium हम उन्हें pay कर रहे हैं, that is our loss. But this entry will only be passed if at the time of issue I have not accounted for the premium. Okay. Now coming to payment to the debenture holders. So finally ये सब हो गया, redemption हो गया. I have booked an amount in the name of the debenture holders. मुझे पता है मुझे उन्हें कितना payment करना है. So here in all the cases I have credited the debenture holders. Now finally when I make a payment to them, it will be debenture holders account debit to bank account. You are making a payment to your debenture holders. Okay. So debenture holders account debit to bank account. So these are your basic entries for redemption and for payment. Now what we have to remember, whether the redemption is out of capital, we have seen the categories of redemption, right? So redemption capital से भी हो सकता है, that is without making DRR, that is debenture redemption reserve or sinking fund, या फिर debenture redemption reserve or sinking fund करके, that is create करके, then we can do the redemption. But in both the cases, all these entries, that is your redemption entries, your adjusting premium entry and your payment entry, this is not going to change. This will remain as it is. जो भी extra entries करनी है depending on the situation, that will change in the situation. Fine. So now we come to creation and investment of debenture redemption reserve. So when we are making a special reserve for the purpose of redemption, which is DRR, debenture redemption reserve. In that case, what are the extra entries that you will pass? So first one is ट्रांसफरिंग द अमाउंट टू DRR. जो हम DRR क्रिएट कर रहे हैं उसमें ट्रांसफर जाएगा. So we are using our reserves. So again I can use general reserve. So general reserve account debit. I can use P&L account debit to debenture redemption reserve account, that is to DRR account. So this is creating the reserve for the purpose of redemption. Now again I'll just draw your attention that if you have gone through the preference shares chapter, that is redemption of preference shares, वहाँ पे हम CRR create करते हैं. There is a difference between DRR and CRR. CRR first of all is only created if your redemption is out of profits. So वो future में होता है, जब redemption होता है we come to know जब के CRR create करना है या नहीं करना है. But this DRR is created in anticipation of redemption. So वो redemption हमें future में करना है, इसीलिए हम आज DRR create कर लेते हैं पहले से ही. Okay, so that is the difference between CRR and DRR. Don't get mixed between the two. Now, after you create the DRR, you have to make an investment against that DRR amount. So, making investment is you are investing in some kind of securities. So, debenture redemption investment account debit, you are creating an investment. And you are making a payment for that. Whenever you buy an investment, you make a payment. So, to bank account. This is creating your investment. That is buying an investment against the DRR. वो investment हमने क्यों किया है? For the purpose of debenture redemption. And that is why we call it debenture redemption investment account. Okay. Now, when you receive interest, जब भी हम investment करते हैं, you are going to get some income on that. So, we'll get amount. So, bank account debit. And generally, you get interest because you cannot invest in shares. So, it will always be interest. So, bank account debit to interest account. Fine. So, this is normal जैसा हमारा income है. And this income need not be transferred to DRR. This income will appear in your P&L like any other income. Okay. So, we still have some entries under the debenture redemption reserve. First, take all these entries down and then I'll go ahead with those other entries. So, after these entries, now when the time for redemption comes, we have to sell the investment. So, जो भी हमने investment किया है वो हमने redemption के लिए किया था. So, it will either mature, that is fixed deposit अगर है एक particular period का, तो you will get the money on that date of maturity, या फिर you will sell the investment. So, obviously when we sell, we get cash. So, bank account debit and your investment goes out. So, to debenture redemption investment account. Okay. So, this gives me money and I will carry out the redemption. Redemption करने के लिए the entries are the same that we already saw. The redemption at par या discount या premium and also the payment to debenture holders which we have seen over here. Okay. Now, after all the redemption is done, अगर debenture redemption reserve में कोई amount बचता है, then we transfer that amount to general reserve. Okay. So at the end of the redemption, your DRR account has to get empty. So DRR account debit to general reserve account. Okay, so this will be with the closing balance in DRR. Fine. Okay, so this is how you will do your entries when you are creating a debenture redemption reserve. Now, another category is sinking fund, but for that, we'll have another set of entries which we'll be seeing in the next session. I'll wind up the session over here. Hope you've understood all the detailed entries till now. Take down these two extra entries that we have done, and I'll see you in the next session. Thank you.